an LLM API call fails, crashing your app feature immediately under peak traffic. On the far left of the image, look at the cluster of users sending simultaneous requests into your application server. It's like 100 people trying to squeeze through a single narrow doorway at the exact same moment. The application forwards every single hit straight to the provider's cloud. But on the right, you can see the red denial icon where the rate limit kicks in. The server instantly returns a 429. Too many requests error because burst capacity was completely exceeded. Surprisingly, your overall daily quota might still be almost empty, but sending too many calls in 1 second trips the provider circuit breaker anyway. Trace the line downward from that error box into the center frame labeled no retry logic. Because there is no error handling or exponential backoff in place, the application gives up instantly and passes that 429 straight to the front end. Look at the far right panel to see the final result. Users staring at a system error screen that says service unavailable. Most developers think rate limits are about total daily cost, but rate limit failures are almost always about burst density. By the end of this video, you will know how to design a resilient retry pipeline so your app never drops a request during traffic spikes. Next, let's look at the exact mechanism inside the provider that triggers these 429 responses. Look at the top left graph titled Production Load Pattern to see how quickly standard traffic breaks your app. Imagine running a coffee shop with a single register. Everything runs smoothly until 3 customers walk in at once, instantly creating a line out the door. On the graph, the red line shows your requests per minute rising over time during launch day traffic, daily peak usage, or organic user adoption. The moment that line crosses the horizontal bar labeled free and starter tier limits, your system hits a brick wall. Below the graph on the bottom left, trace the arrows showing user requests running straight into a solid brick wall marked reject, triggering a 429. Too many requests error. Most developers assume free tiers are for testing, but starter tiers are deliberately capped at tiny throughputs like 3 requests per minute or tens of thousands of tokens. Follow the arrow from that wall to the center boxes labeled structural constraints, not edge cases. In LLM architecture, providers use smaller gears for free tiers and larger gears for paid tiers to protect multi-tenant infrastructure from noisy neighbors. Free and starter tier limits are structural business constraints, not rare edge cases. Moving to the bottom right box labeled Why Your AI Feature Breaks, you can see how unhandled rejections lead to an unresponsive application, failed requests, and total user frustration. 2 tools solve this today, LiteLLM and Kong API Gateway. Here's the key difference between them. LiteLLM handles provider fallback routing in code, while Kong manages rate limits at the network edge before traffic touches your app. Rate limits are not bugs in your code, they are hard rules of the platform. Now let us look at how the concept itself works. Look at the LLM request response structure column on the far left. Your application sends the user prompt as an input, but the API does not charge you per letter or per word. The second column shows that text is first processed by a tokenizer, which breaks phrases into smaller token subunits like words and tokens. This is the critical unit of cost and rate limiting. Each model, like those labeled here from Claude 2.1 up to Claude 3 Opus, has a hard total max token limit for combined prompt and completion, shown on this meter reaching 4096. You are billed for every single token you generate, even on failed requests, which is why optimizing your prompts for token count is more important than optimizing for raw latency. As requests flow to the right, they must pass through the third column's rate limits gate, which restricts traffic using 2 specific metrics. Look at the graphs. Requests per minute or RPM limits how many individual calls you can make, but tokens per minute or TPM also constrains how much total data you can process in that window, shown here at 1 million TPM. When you hit either threshold, you get a 429 error, which your app must then handle using the mechanism in the next column, labeled Exponential Backoff Retry logic. This waits progressively longer, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, then 20 seconds before retrying, ensuring you do not just retry immediately and hit the limit again. If making decisions like this confidently is what you want, subscribe now. Every Friday, one AI engineering concept, free. Finally, the rightmost column highlights critical additional considerations for production readiness. Secure your API key using environment variables and never hard-code it into your front-end code. Implement a robust model versioning strategy shown here, so you can test changes and select the exact version, like this specific Claude 3 Sonnet checkpoint, without risking a break to your live features. Next, let us see exactly where this runs in production. Look at the 3 columns from left to right showing Anthropic Claude API rate limit tiers. Think of high-performance computing, like a toll highway. If everyone drives on the free lane, traffic grinds to a complete halt for everyone. On the far left, the free tier shows restricted capacity built for students and personal projects. The metrics listed show extremely low limits, 1 to 2 RPM and around 20,000 TPM. With a tiny total request cap per day, Anthropic enforces these low numbers to prevent platform abuse, protect shared infrastructure, and keep compute costs minimal. Trace the bottom arrow labeled low risk, high multi-tenancy to see how hundreds of light users share this baseline capacity. Moving to the middle column, the Pro tier offers enhanced capacity for developers, small businesses, and prototyping. The limits scale up to moderate numbers like 10 to 20 RPM and around 100,000 TPM with higher daily quotas. This tier uses balanced compute load and prioritized queues to handle real business usage. Now look at the far right column, glowing with high and scalable capacity for enterprise tier users. Large organizations and production systems get very high limits, over 100 RPM and massive TPM above 1 million, backed by dedicated resources, custom SLAs, and contractual guarantees. Notice at the bottom how the pipeline flows from low risk up to premium revenue and reserved capacity. Now let us understand why this was the only right engineering choice. Look at the contrast on this infographic. On the left side, without retry with exponential backoff is a classic service outage waiting to happen. Imagine a super busy traffic intersection where every car that hits a red light immediately tries to run it again over and over, crashing constantly and blocking all lanes. That is exactly what happens with immediate re-requests. The diagram shows concurrent user requests smashing into the LLM API endpoint on that cloud icon, which naturally hits its rate limit and throws a big red 42.9 too many requests error. If your app just fails or immediately retries, it triggers the cascading failure effect shown at the bottom left. Immediate re-requests aggravate the congestion on subsequent calls, leading to a complete system outage and a system down error represented by that large red X on the circuit board. Now guide your eye to the right side with retry with exponential backoff, which builds a resilient system shown with that clear light background panel. When the LLM API endpoint returns the rate limit error, your app catches it and starts the exponential backoff loop. This is the non-optional constraint. Your clients must pause and then exponentially back off, progressively increasing the wait time before the first retry at 1 second, the second at 2 seconds, and the third at 4 seconds. Look at the shrinking sizes of those concurrent request circles as the loop progresses. Counterintuitively, the only way to go faster under load is to deliberately slow your clients down. This implements the resilient system effect at the bottom right. Pausing reduces congestion, creating a stable service. Two tools solve this today: Tenacity for Python and Resilience 4j for Java. Here is the key difference between them. Tenacity provides a decorator-based syntax for retries and backoff logic, while Resilience 4j is a full circuit breaker library that also includes rate limiting and bulkheading metrics. Successful responses flow through the system and your AI feature lands on a green system operational status. Remember, Rate limit errors are not bugs to fix. They are hard environmental constraints you must engineer around. If you do not have exponential backoff implemented, your service is not distributed. It is just a ticking denial of service attack on your own infrastructure. For your next watch, check out our deep dive on building the perfect prompt for a zero-shot LLM call. Subscribe for a new AI engineering breakdown every Friday.